I'm excited for you, and I'll tell you why I'm excited, because you're getting very close now to designing your own session plans. And not only will you design session plans, but you will make session plans that will be beautiful things, because they incorporate the 7 steps for success that we talked about in the previous video. So just to show you that we've got an example of a session plan here, I want to take you through this example. I might start by actually showing you where the 7 steps are so that you can see that yes, we have included them all. And the first of the steps was the objective. So you can see the objective here. By the way, I might just mention too that this example is in your book of readings. You'll find this example of a session plan in your book of readings. That's where I'm showing it to you from right now. It was on page 68 at the time that this video was filmed. Can't guarantee it's still at that page with your current version, but probably going to be in that vicinity. But look in the index at the start for example of a session plan, and you'll be able to locate it quite quickly if you want to look through this as soon as this video ends. So, step 1 of the 7 steps to success is to specify the objective. Here we've got, by the end of this session, participants will be able to demonstrate how to make a basic Milo safely. Very important skill, being able to make a Milo. I've got an 8-year-old. I have to be able to get this right. Step number 2 after that is to develop the content, and we've got the content listed down here. And step 3 is to sequence it. So you'll see that we've organized the content. We brainstormed it, and now we've organized it into a sequence. Not only do we just have it in a sequence from start to finish, but we've organized it into introduction, where we're just explaining what's going to happen without presenting content. Then we've got the body, which is where we actually show the content. And then after that, we've got the conclusion, where we wrap up what happened in the session. So they're the 3 parts of the sequencing. Make sure that everything fits neatly in there. If you're explaining things for the first time, it needs to be in the content. If you're doing activities that are going to be part of the assessments, they also need to be in the body. The introduction is just the warm-up act. It's just for getting people's head around what the topic is going to be about and ready to learn. The conclusion at the end is just about summarizing. There's no new content there. It's just about summarizing and finishing off the session in style. So, step 1, objective. Step 2, content. Step 3, sequencing it. Step 4 from our video earlier was assessment methods, and you can see, delivery methods. And you've got our methods of delivery here. We've got some review, we've got group discussion, we've got lecture/PowerPoint, we've got demonstration. All the different methods. What I love about this example here is see the variety. Always lots of variety. Everything's changing all the time. In fact, we're hard pressed here to have the same thing twice throughout the whole session almost. That is amazing, and that's what you want to do, is you want to create lots of variation, lots of variety in your session. The reason is it appeals to all the learning style. You can see here we've got group discussion. Oral learners will love that. A chat fest. Woo! It's sensational for the ears. The visual learners will love the PowerPoint slides that they get to look at. That's cool. And then you've got the kinesthetic learners who will love the fact that they get to practice themselves. So a little bit of variety for all the learning styles, but please, with your methods of delivery, be specific so that future trainers who are using the same session plan can see what your intention was. Don't just put down the learning styles. That's too vague, too broad. Step number 5 is the time and the timing. So we've got a total time up the top of the page of 20 minutes, and we've got timings for each of the line items within these sections here. Be specific. If you don't break it down, then you don't know when you're on track or when you're running out of time or maybe going too slowly. It keeps you on track to break this down and put in the estimates for each section. That helps you to be more accurate at the end. And don't just group your times. Don't group your methods. Have a specific method and a specific time for each line item throughout the session plan. That's really important. Step 6 is the resources, and we've got the resources listed in this column here, aids or resources. We want a pre-prepared Milo that we make up before the class so we can show it to the students. Yum! That sets the scene. We've also got some slides we need to prepare and some other resources here that we're going to be using during the session. And step 7 is the assessment. Just need to briefly identify what the overview of the assessment is going to be. We don't need a lot of detail. In this case here, we've got 3 different types of assessments. We've got observation of the student's performance. That would be happening when they're doing this practicing. Okay. We've got the questions for knowledge. That will be during in this session here, during the discussion when we're going through some questions and asking questions about the session and what happened, and then a review, a completed milo, and that could occur after the practice session. As the trainer walks around the room, as the assessor walks around the room, they could see the finished products, or maybe even look at them after the students have left the room. So 3 assessments here. Arguably, that's a little bit of overkill for a 20-minute session, so I just throw that out for you to think about. We don't necessarily need to have 3 assessments in each session, especially one as short as 20 minutes, but that's what the assessor has decided here, which is fair enough. So there are your 7 steps to success. Putting it all together, putting it in a sequence here for you, come up with a program title. In this case, it's Tasty Beverages Made with Milk. This particular session is called Making a Milo. We've got the total time, we've got the objective, we've got the assessment overview, and we've got the aids and resources. So we've captured all the information from here, and we're adding that into here. Then we've got the specific details. We've got the sequencing, the introduction, body, conclusion. We've got all the specific line items as to what's going to happen within each of these 3 sections. And for each of them, we've got a specific method of delivery. We've got a specific time. We haven't got any grouping of those things anywhere. And also, we've got aids and resources listed where appropriate in the relevant sections. Okay, this is a good session plan. It's got good coverage. It covers everything we need to know. You could take 6 months off, not do this session, come back, look at this, and bang, you're ready to go again. You've got everything you need to know, and you've got a list of your resources, so you can take those with you as well. One thing that I do recommend you consider when you're developing a session is always aim to have 3 line items, a minimum of 3 line items within the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. In this case, we've just got 2 in the conclusion. That's not fatal, but if you always have 3, you can't go wrong. I find that when we have at least 3 in the intro, 3 in the body, and at least 3 in the conclusion, the chances are that you've got a really good session plan. It's hard sometimes, especially in longer sessions, to develop a good session if it doesn't have that level of amount of variety and changes in content in the session. All right, I think we've pretty much covered it. That's your example of a session plan. Study it, have a look at it. Soon you get a chance to do one yourself. Can't wait to see what you come up with.